Akaash Singh, on his own podcast, confident, direct, delivering this line to camera about Will Smith, about Jada, about what a real man does when his wife steps into the public eye.
Yes. Will said that about your girl.
Again, also different.
You're not hitting them?
Also different because our wives aren't celebrities. They don't put themselves out there.
Yeah.
You put themselves out there, I swear I would look at you and be like, yo, and it would be a fight. And I'm not great at fighting with my wife, but it would be a fight where it's like, hey, you also got to understand that comes with this life.
I'm going to defend my wife. Yo, stand up for your wife, bro.
In private.
Before any of this happened, Akaash Singh was not a household name, and he would be the first to tell you that. But in the world he operated in, he was something more durable than a household name. He was an institution, nearly a decade on Flagrant alongside Andrew Schulz. Over 700 episodes. One of the most profitable Patreon operations in podcast history. Each co-host clearing 6 figures a month. He sold out Radio City Music Hall. He was booking MSG. For a comedian who'd spent years in the shadow of a louder, more famous partner, this was the moment everything was finally converting. But the height wasn't just the numbers. The height was the authority. Akaash Singh was the one on Flagrant who delivered verdicts. He was the moral voice, the guy who looked at the chaos of celebrity culture and told the audience what it actually meant. He had opinions on Will Smith, on Cat Williams, on what a man owes his audience, on what a man owes himself. That authority, the credibility to sit in judgment of other men's choices, was the real height. And it's the thing the fall would destroy most completely. It's the glitched system. And this is why Akaash Singh's wife didn't ruin his career. He already told you she would. The rise of Akaash Singh is a story about borrowed credibility converting into real credibility. He came up alongside Schulz, building Flagrant from nothing into a machine. The podcast was the anchor. But Akaash wasn't just Schulz's sideman. He was developing his own voice, his own touring career, his own identity as the guy who called it straight. And what made people root for him specifically was this: he had principles. On a podcast built around shock and spectacle, Akaash Singh was the one who drew lines. He didn't mess with married women. He didn't respect men who couldn't control their households. He said this repeatedly, publicly, on the record. Our wives aren't celebrities. They don't put themselves out there. You put themselves out there. I swear I would look at you and be like, yo, it would be a fight. You also got to understand that comes with this life. He said this to Will Smith, about Jada, on Flagrant, years before Jasine launched her podcast. There was already something slightly off in how Akaash talked about his marriage. A particular defensiveness whenever the topic came up, a need to emphasize how different his situation was from the men he was judging.
One person in the relationship, whoever cares less, has the leverage, and we want the guy to always care less. We want the man to always have the leverage.
Childish as
and you guys might not like hearing that.
Childish.
But we truly feel.
I'm not. These aren't new beliefs, bro. You're not telling me some none of us have ever heard. We all heard this from fraternity guys in college. I'm saying there's room in and I don't have a problem with a lot of the stuff you say. I just think there is room for growth. And you guys' refusal to acknowledge it almost kind of proves it to me, confirms it to me that you guys are not willing to grow right now. And that's fine. That's some ego.
At the time, nobody read into it. It sounded like confidence. In hindsight, it was armor. The hinge point is November 2024. Jasine launched her podcast. And within the first few episodes, she had done 3 things that individually might have been survivable, but together in rapid succession were not. 1. She introduced herself to the world as a stay-at-home wife who doesn't cook or clean because she doesn't feel like it.
Okay, hi, my name is Jasine, and these are things that I do as a stay-at-home wife. Or sorry, I don't do. I don't cook, I don't clean, and I don't do my husband's laundry. I feel that I don't have to do things to justify or prove my worth that I'm allowed to do this.
2. She announced casually the financial architecture of the marriage. His money is our money, and my money is my money. 3. She began describing her college years, the frat houses, the roster of men she rotated through, the life she'd been living before she met Akaash. who had publicly credited their shared values and her lack of prior partners as the foundation of their connection.
Man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll mother. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money. And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money. Okay? So just so we're clear, no, that's actually a red flag because I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys that weren't transparent about money and they ended up being terrible in other aspects and like people ended up breaking up in divorces, et cetera, et cetera. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husbands?
Priya, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him.
Maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy if we
or
did
it's
it?
thick. It's thick.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who
I'm not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy.
On the main character pod, we love you, we hate you,
I guess
we respect
we
you.
love you, but I actually love you and want to all of you.
When she's running 2 hours late to a dinner reservation that I worked really hard to get, and then I'm like, baby, we're running late, and she's like, are you kidding me? Do you know? I don't give a if we're late to this dinner. They're lucky to have us. And I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing. #1 restaurant in the New York Times. You know how hard a reservation is?
She's like, call them right now. Call them right now. This is not a fun session.
I'm not even joking. This is how main character I am. I was like, Sema will be lucky that I would grace them with my presence tonight.
When I say I'm tired, she can't just let me be tired. I travel, I work, and I'm very blessed to do what I do.
He also has really bad insomnia.
I have really bad insomnia. I work 335 days a year. I'm so blessed to do what I do. This is not a complaint. But when I tell my wife I'm tired, I want her to say, I'm sorry, baby. I understand. That must be exhausting, buying me all these things. Instead, she goes, so am I. And if I dare open my mouth to go, what the did you do that made you tired? Now it's a problem. Now it's a fight. So I gotta sit there.
I went to Pilates.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's adorable when she does these things. Yeah. Like, I just look at it and here's the rule in our marriage. It's been unspoken, but now we're just saying it now that we're both making content. If it's funny, we're good. Like, if it's funny, and if it's not funny and it hurt the other person's feelings, you apologize, you move on.
Okay, May the 4th is Akaash's birthday. And
May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and every year I dread it because I have to be nice the whole day, and I have to get him something, and I have to also be nice and do like acts of kindness.
She's really not okay with it.
You know, she said that twice?
She's really not okay with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's really hard.
For her, it's really hard.
For me.
She needs to just, you know.
Listen, I'm just used to being treated like a princess all day, every day, so that one day that I don't.
Oh, what torture.
Yeah. Man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll mother. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money. And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money. Okay? So just so we're clear, no, that's actually a red flag because I know so many girls in my life personally that have been with guys that weren't transparent about money and they ended up being terrible in other aspects and like people ended up breaking up in divorces, et cetera, et cetera. So that is actually my number one. They must be generous with their finances from day one.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what?
He'd said that on record, And now here was Jasine on her own podcast, filling in the details he'd left out. The internet moved fast. The clips spread faster. Within days, it was the only thing anyone was talking about when they said the name Akaash Singh. But here's what everyone missed at the time. This wasn't the worst thing that happened. It was just the first. When the controversy broke, the assumption was that Flagrant would handle it the way they handled everything, with comedy, with deflection, by making it a bit and moving on. Instead, they brought Jasine onto the show. The stated goal was to clear the air, to let her address the controversy, to frame it as a misunderstanding, to get ahead of it. What actually happened was the worst episode in Flagrant history. The co-hosts were visibly uncomfortable. Jasine was unapologetic. The audience wasn't buying the misunderstanding framing. The comments section turned. The show tried to absorb the damage. Instead, the show became the damage.
Have you ever heard of the repressed Catholic schoolgirl?
Never.
Yes. I was, yeah, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was.
His Catholic school was in his living room. Imagine how repressed he was.
I was the repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But what does a roster mean?
So it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like 2 guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant...
mean up, I just meant making out. Again, like everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right. So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. She's actually made it non-cooking ass.
You could make that?
Keema.
Really?
This useless.
You can't say this with all due respect, please.
You gotta say with all due respect.
Why?
I guess it's your wife.
I thought the internet was right about everything.
No.
Golding a woman.
Yeah. Okay, so you can make all these things.
Yeah.
So if she had a body count, I would have been like, hey. Cut that. But because she doesn't, and I know how like innocent she actually is.
Oh, you are a virgin? That's real?
I was a virgin until I met him, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't, that body count thing, I'd have been like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Because I would have been insecure about it. But I can be, not that I'm so secure, but with that joke, I'm like so secure.
Oh, I absolutely would feel insecure.
And I think stupidly, I was like, oh, it's all of us. It's not like talking.
Yeah, that is stupid.
Yeah.
But Schulz and Charlemagne had already said privately, and then not so privately, exactly what they thought about the situation. On Brilliant Idiots, away from Flagrant, the gloves came off.
What happened, man? Akaash's wife made you want to not be married? What happened?
I'm never going to tell the world. I ain't going through that shit. That shit is crazy.
What happened?
I didn't realize we had Akaash's picture.
Can I say what I want to say?
Of course. This is what Brilliant Idiots is about.
All I want to say is simply this.
Keep your wife off the internet.
Motherfucking internet. Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to start a motherfucking podcast, bro.
Yes.
Okay? There can be one entertainer in this family, and it shall be me. I'm the comedian. I'm out here on this road, and I'm out here getting the money. Let me use some of this money to help you do some other things, yo. Because you don't need a microphone in your face because you going to fuck around and ruin us. All right, not just you. Delete it. Delete the podcast.
Delete ours?
No more influencing. No, I'm talking about her.
Oh, we're working on it.
No influencing. I don't want no. You don't let your wife be influencers. Don't let your wife be podcasters, man.
These are not critics. These are the men closest to Akaash Singh on the record, saying what everyone else was only typing in comment sections. When your own co-founders have to say it out loud on a separate podcast, the intervention has already failed. And then Akaash disappeared. Set up for months. There was no Akaash Singh on Flagrant. No announcement. No explanation. No goodbye episode. Conflict. He just stopped showing up. The comment section on every episode he wasn't on, became a running referendum on his marriage. The show itself became the evidence. Meanwhile, Jasine continued posting. Continued doing interviews, called the Flagrant fanbase racist and right-wing, the same fanbase whose Patreon subscriptions were funding the Gucci, the Pilates, the physiotherapist with the notable physique, the vacations. She called them racist on camera. And Akaash said nothing.
I know the periphery of Akaash's fan base, which is, I will say, more of the podcast fan base. And I know a lot of people during like our controversy were saying like, oh, it's because of his fans. It's because of his fans. Like his comedy fans are not like that. It's more the podcast fan base that I don't think really resonate with him, because a lot of them are like really racist and right wing. I think like those of them are more like that. But yeah, anyways, I said like those peripheral fans, like they might come at us just because we're brown girls being opinionated and they don't like opinionated women. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Jasine. I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I don't cook or clean because I don't feel like it. And my husband is a full-time stand-up comedian and he buys me lots of nice things.
It's just like the best fucking part is like living with your best friend.
Also, it's like there's
who buys you designer shit.
When I got to college, I was like, oh my God, it's like open season and like all these guys are like starting to give me attention and like everyone's being so social.
I just feel like when I first got into this, I was like, I just want to be myself 110%. And the audience isn't stupid. And my friend told me this. She said, you can feel someone's energy through their content, if they're genuine or not. So I just always, first and foremost, was like, I just want to be genuinely myself. It just felt most authentic to who I was. I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God.
Like in hindsight, I also feel like sometimes if people want to take you in a negative way, like they will, you know?
I absolutely agree, because I think like that is like one of the reasons that I was like, oh, like we'll get along, right? Because
I remember, because you asked me this question, like, what is it like to look at like think pieces and people analyzing your marriage and your personality? It feels weird and it feels surreal, because you're like, but you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You've never talked to me. Like, you're taking the intention of this video in the complete wrong way. I was popping my pussy. The misogyny was like really crazy. It was bizarre to me because I'm like, my husband can go on stage and literally has a joke in his special about like getting a hooker isn't like cheating, it's just outsourcing, which I really don't care. Like, I think it's a funny joke, but it's like, if I say something that's equally, you know, raunchy, like then I'm a whore or all these things. I don't give a fuck if I was a virgin or I wasn't, or if my body count was 100. I don't even want to say his fucking name, but this fucking loser whose name you said, like he was on the Flagrant podcast like 5 fucking years ago. And my husband just humbled the shit out of him and basically embarrassed him, because he was like, I think what you do is corny. So when all of this first started, it was like very clear to see that there was like a lot of bot farming as well. And I could tell there were bots because like the 1,500 followers I gained on Instagram, I immediately lost like within the span of 2 months. So it was like up and then down, which is funny because they say very racist things against Indians and South Asians, but like that's where you get your bots. It's kind of a part of, unfortunately, like the fame kind of thing. And I don't feel like I've reached a certain like thing at all, but I think when people start to know about you, it's like kind of the downside of it. Like, is that the reason you want to go viral, is like the video hating on me? Okay, if that's fine, but like that's not the reason like I would want to go viral. I went viral being myself, you dumb fucking bitch. Like, I think men need to feel like they can provide and they can achieve, you know, their dream to be in a functioning relationship. I feel like if that's not working, then the relationship part can't work, in my opinion, from what I've seen. So I was just praying to God like super hard every single day. I would get on the train and I would see these girls in like Burberry trench coats, big diamond ring, Louboutins, like, and I was just like, please God, like I just want to be like, that symbolized success to me. But I wanted to have success because I also wanted our relationship to work, because I wanted him to feel like he was the man and he could provide. And so
what's going on with the podcast?
It makes me sad because with Nahal, we became friends so quickly. I don't want to say anything shitty about her, and I won't.
You guys didn't have a relationship prior to all of this?
No.
Okay.
So we just became friends like pretty quickly, and then she wanted to do the podcast, and I was a little bit unsure, but then I talked to my husband about it. He was like, why not? You've always wanted to try it. I think what happened was that we went through controversy so quickly into it that it kind of like put a strain on the friendship, because I remember her saying, though, in Paris, she was like, my biggest fear is getting canceled. I mean, I haven't shared this with anyone, but I said, like, you know, I really wish that you had been there more for me during, especially like everything that happened in December. Like, I know
the periphery of Akaash's fan base, which is, I will say, more of the podcast fan base. And I know a lot of people during like our controversy were saying like, oh, it's because of his fans. It's because of his fans. Like his comedy fans are not like that. It's more the podcast fan base that I don't think really resonate with him, because a lot of them are like really racist and right wing. I think like those of them are more like that. But yeah, anyways, I said like those peripheral fans, like they might come at us just because we're brown girls being opinionated and they don't like opinionated women, want my content to reach the masses and just be a household name in that space and kind of be like the luxury brown comedy wag girl. And then eventually like hopefully maybe have like a skincare or clothing line or something like that.
I see it for you. I see it for you. I really think that you had to go through all of this to graduate from that, right?
Yeah.
And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God.
I don't even want to say his fucking name, but this fucking loser whose name you said, like he was on the Flagrant podcast like 5 fucking years ago. And my husband just humbled the shit out of him and basically embarrassed him because he was like, I think what you do is corny and it's not really helping men. So there's that. And I think every year he would try to like bait them by being like, oh, you guys are pussies or you guys are this. But then every year that clip would circulate. And I think deep down it really embarrassed and humiliated and emasculated him. So when all of this first started, it was like very clear to see that there was like a lot of bot farming as well. And I could tell there were bots because like the 1,500 followers I gained on Instagram, I immediately lost like within the span of 2 months. So it was like, when it's like, but the reality is what the reality is. It's like, I was a virgin when I met my husband. We lost our virginity to each other. Because when I was in college, I dated this guy. He was going down on me. Like, wouldn't you know it, I was still spotting. And also, if you're like poking around down there, like, more blood can sometimes come out even if your period is over. And I swear to God, like I thought my period was done. And I never made that a part of my identity. I only shared that because I share my life story because I'm an oversharer. Y'all made it a part of my identity and then used it against me. I don't give a f if I was a virgin or I wasn't, or if my body count was 100, but it wasn't. Those are just facts. So if you want to take like tongue-in-cheek videos and make it into something it's not, like that's not really a reflection of me, that's a reflection of them. And I think, don't know what the controversy was. A lot of red pill and misogynistic men tried to cancel me because I said I popped my pussy. Big fucking deal. Like, get the fuck over it.
The audience that was funding her entire lifestyle heard her verdict on them. They did not take it well. And then it got worse because Akaash finally spoke. Akaash's first major interview after the controversy. The audience expected either accountability or aggression. What they got was neither.
First week this was happening, she goes, you know what, baby? God knows what's true. We know what's true.
That's right.
What else matters? Who cares that anybody thinks? And I was like, I care. What are you talking about? There's a side of me that's like, maybe it's a short guy thing, but I really identify with like Kendrick Lamar, where it's like, if we want beef, I'll destroy everything. I'll burn everything down. There's a little part of me that's pre-therapy.
No, we don't want that.
That's like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about whatever. You came at my wife. Let's just burn it all down.
You know you need to thank her, right?
All the time. I buy her nonstop things.
I know. I see her. I love her, by the way.
She loves you. She and I have a relationship where it's like, I don't give a f what you say. She can give a f what I say. I have her location. She has my location. Every time if you look at 90% of her TikToks, they're on our couch. Like, she don't go nowhere without me. So I'm like, whatever you say. I don't care. I know you. But the internet just ran with it and made it a thing. And at first, it really like f***ed me up.
I wanted to ask you, how did you really feel? Because like, I can't ever gauge, because you are a comic. You're so good at this. You do have thick skin.
Yeah.
I have seen, well, like, meaning for the most part, the success that you have had, I don't know. I don't feel like things really faze you like that. So I couldn't gauge if it really hurt.
I was deeply fazed.
But what hurt you about?
It's just they're saying it about your wife. And I think the stuff they say about me will make me insecure. But when you're saying this about my wife and you're calling her all this vile stuff, people were messaging my mom and her mom saying she's a whore, she's this, she's that. It was like, yo, this is crazy how far this has gone. And everything she gets said, y'all are chopping up. And I've probably done this to 1,000 famous people. So I don't knock the people who did it.
Sure.
But it did let me... I think God does everything for a reason, and I think for me, this was God's way. Because this is how I found out I had some level of fame.
This is recent.
Yeah.
So you're just realizing your fame now?
I didn't know because people would be like, what was your I made it moment? I was like, I haven't made it. What are you talking about? And now it's like, well, when the whole world called my wife a whore, I realize I'm doing okay.
That you've made it.
Yeah. That's how I found out. But I think it was just like, I'm watching them say this about her. Y'all don't know her. You're doing it off a 2-minute TikTok.
That's right.
I know this woman, and I read people pretty well. That's kind of like what most of my clips are about.
Right.
I'm not that big of a moron that a girl would lie to me for 14 years or whatever, 10 years, about being a virgin, and I would not even bother watching her TikToks to find out she talks about getting, you know what I mean? Like, none of this, how are we believing this? I couldn't understand it.
I get it. How did she feel about everything?
She was, I mean, look, it affected her for sure, but she said, this is where I don't like, I wish people knew, and I said this to her before she started doing social media. She's the most like multi-dimensional person I know, where she pops off, says crazy shit, says disrespectful shit, but also is so spiritual, so grounded, and so like, she just kind of kept that energy. She was like, whatever y'all think about me is whatever y'all think about me. I know who I am. God knows who I am. That's it.
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's stressful, and like I had to realize there's a lot of people's voices in your like talking in your ear, like she needs to do this, she needs to do that, and then I had to realize like she's the one that's actually strong and courageous, and the rest of us are like running and hiding and going dark and blah blah blah. And she's like, no, I know who I am. Go f yourselves. Yeah. So
he compared himself to Kendrick Lamar. He suggested the level of backlash they received was evidence of his fame. I didn't know because people would be like, what was your I made it moment? And now it's like, when the whole world called my wife a name, I realized I'm doing okay. He performed okayness while visibly falling apart. He bounced between insisting his wife was joking and insisting she was bravely expressing her authentic self. In the same interview, without appearing to notice the contradiction. The comment sections under the Hot 97 clip did not receive this well. This man is in deep denial. The cope is extraordinary. He told on himself without knowing it. He wasn't recovering. He was coping loudly. And the mask was the story now. She starts a podcast. Says she never cooked, never cleaned, and his money is her money. Describes rotating through a roster of men in frat houses while he was publicly crediting their shared values as the reason he married her. She posts thirst traps. She flirts with her physiotherapist on camera.
Also, I heard you're single. Is that true?
We'll go back to treating.
She refuses to kiss him in public. Turns her face at the proposal.
I'll also respond to the people saying I don't like my husband because I turned away from a kiss. I've never liked PDA, physical touch. I find it really overstimulating. And so it's something I actually work through with my husband because that's his love language.
She doubles down on the backlash, triples down, calls his audience racist, and then, in what should be the final act of accountability, delivers the virginity defense, stumbling through an explanation that she doesn't appear to believe herself. And through all of it, Akaash Singh's public position is, my wife is strong. My wife is courageous. I should be thanking her. Wait for it. Through all of that, his wife is the victim. Then, flat, immediate, without effect, he threw away over 6 figures a month so his wife could express herself on Instagram.
We got to address the elephant in the room, no pun intended, okay? As I'm sure you guys are aware, our boy Akaash, he really went through it earlier this year, showed amazing resilience. He is going to be stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet. You know, we wish that he did not want to do that. But the experience has put things in perspective for him. And he has made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up. He is going to be stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet. You know, we wish that he did not want to do that. But at the same time, you know, it's very hard not to root for your friend, you know, literally living his dreams. And if he feels he's got to give everything to that, then that's exactly what he's got to do. And we're going to rock with him. We hope you guys continue to rock with him. Go check out the show. We saw the show, Radio City. It's phenomenal. You guys should absolutely go check it out. AkaashSingh.com. for tickets. So we just wanted to, clear the air. Akaash hasn't been on the pod for a while. We thought it was time that we, talk to you guys about it. Thoughts, boys?
It's bittersweet because this is my brother. I love him. I was here day one of this podcast, and it's like, we were started together and together. Bad boys for life.
Yeah.
Some gay shit, But yeah, man, I'm proud of him. I'm just so proud, like, being at Radio City and just seeing,
crazy.
Like, just everybody was animated, like, they loved it. Like, I'm just proud of him. And I think back to when we surprised him when I came home from Sweden.
Oh, yeah, his reaction was incredible.
His reaction, like, he didn't even care. The cameras are there, jumped up, gave me the biggest bear hug. I didn't know he was that strong.
Yeah, for those of you guys, maybe newer listeners, Alex got locked up when we were on tour in Sweden, and we didn't tell Akaash that he got out.
Yeah.
And then there's an earlier episode where he just bursts in the room, and Akaash sees him for the first time, thinking he was in jail the whole time, and Akaash just goes crazy, and it was just pure love. It was beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love you, brother, but, we'll see each other, so it's all good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's cool to see all the venues he's selling out and everything that he's doing. I remember even like when I very first came to New York, riding in an Uber with him, and he was talking about this exact thing. He's like, yeah, man, like the pod's cooking, but like I want to be that guy. And then now he's doing all the stuff that he said.
Yeah.
And it's just really exciting. Like as a comic, I think we can understand. It's like, yeah, dude, you have an opportunity. I mean, he's going to be an MSG like soon.
Go get it.
You know what I mean?
Go get it.
It's cool to see.
Yeah, man. Just a lot of memories. Yeah. But listen, go out and support Akaash, man. Go send him some messages. Show him some love, dude.
Yep.
He's the man. He's getting after it, and he's going to continue to crush it.
Yeah. Go get a ticket to his show if there's tickets left.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I guess now for Indian representation on the podcast,
it's got to be Alex.
Yeah, Alex can take it.
Okay.
Don't do that.
I love you,
please
man.
do the rest of the pod in that accent. Please do it. You flying back tonight?
Here's what this story is actually about. The internet has a perfect memory, and it has no mercy for hypocrisy. The men who built their platforms on judging other people's marriages, who made a career out of telling other men what they should have done, are always the most exposed when their own falls apart. Because the receipts already exist. Timestamped, clipped, indexed, waiting. Akaash Singh didn't lose a podcast. He lost the authority his entire career was built on. You can rebuild a platform. You cannot rebuild the credibility of a man who spent years explaining exactly what he would do in a situation, and then didn't do it. The most complete form of self-destruction isn't losing everything in a moment of rage. It's watching someone take everything from you one clip at a time, and then going on the radio to explain why she was right to do it. He looked Will Smith in the face and said,
I swear I would look at you and be like, yo, and it would be a fight.
It wasn't a fight. It was a Birkin bag and a thank you. Akaash Singh didn't need his wife to ruin his career. He'd already recorded the tutorial. As always, it's the glitched system. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you on the next. Peace.